Welcome back. I have a good story to tell you today. It's a story about a wedding. I don't know if you've ever been to a wedding. They're a lot of fun sometimes. Sometimes, especially when you're little, they can be pretty dull. They have a lot of waiting around for things to get started, and then it gets really exciting, really beautiful. And then after the service, it can get dull again for a little while people are just waiting around for the bride and groom to come out of church. Then it gets exciting again, and then it's get dull again, and then everybody drives off somewhere, and then they wait around again for the bride and the groom to arrive, and then the bride and groom arrive, and it gets really exciting again, and then it gets a little slow for a while, and then everybody eats. And after they've eaten, there's music and there's dancing, and that can be a lot of fun too. By that time, if you're under 12, you're probably really sleepy, and you may take a nap or something, and that's okay. That's actually good. Or maybe you've even been a flower girl when you were really little, or maybe a ring bearer, and you've been in the wedding, and that can be both exciting and kind of not exciting sometimes. You never know what's going to happen at a wedding. Well, this story is about a wedding that Jesus was invited to. And we don't know that they had cake. Now, weddings always have cake. We like wedding cake. Wedding cake is good. And here, they definitely didn't have turkey in the Bible, but hey, why not a picture of a wedding with a turkey? Turkey is a good thing, but you can see the bride and the groom there, and keep your eye on that white picture in front of the groom, because that's going to have a big part in this story. It says, now Jesus had these 12 men traveling around with him, and they went to many cities. The disciples listened to Jesus as he taught the people how God wanted them to live. He would tell them many things about God that he didn't tell anybody else. One day, Jesus and his disciples were visiting a town called Cana, and they were invited to a wedding. Mary, Jesus' mother, was also at the party, so it must have been the wedding of a family friend, or maybe a distant relative, maybe another of Jesus' cousins or somebody like that. At that celebration, Jesus did something that he had never done before. He performed his first miracle. A miracle is something special that Jesus did to help people, and did it because God's power and God's Spirit were with him. A miracle is something like when he healed people. A miracle was when he walked on water, and we're going to hear that story later. A miracle was when he rose from the dead, which is the biggest miracle of all. But this was the first one that he did, and it happened at this wedding. I'll keep reading. People came from all over to attend the wedding. The party would last for many days. The bride and the groom and their families served food and wine to all their guests. They would serve their best food and their best wine during the first few days of the party, and it took a lot of food and drink to feed so many people for all those days. Imagine you had a birthday party. Only your birthday party ran for, say 3 days, 4 days? How many bags of potato chips do you think you'd go through? How many bowls of popcorn would you eat? How much ice cream would everybody go through? If you had jelly beans, what do you think would happen? Well, these people were eating, and they were drinking, and they were doing all the things that people do at a wedding, and it was going on for days and days and days. And during the party, Jesus' mother was named Mary. Remember her from the story of Jesus' birth in Bethlehem? She pulled him aside, and she had a little talk with him. Can you see them talking in this picture? Did your parents ever pull you aside and say, hey, I got something I need to talk to you about? And when that happens, do you usually worry about it? Uh-huh, I thought so. This isn't quite like that. But maybe Jesus kind of wondered, uh-oh, am I going to get in trouble here? Well, we're going to pick up the story on that one tomorrow night. Sleep well. And think maybe about what could be the end of the story or what could be wrong. And we'll pick it up then. Bye-bye.